All right, on today's plant spotlight video, we're going to be looking at the Urizun Japanese Winged Bean. Let's take a look at it. And so from the name, you can kind of tell some of the characteristics. So it's called a Japanese winged bean. It's actually from equatorial Asia. This particular variety they find a lot in Japan. And it's a winged bean, as you can tell. It has these wings. There's a bean inside of it, just like you would have on a normal green bean. But these have wings on them, which are kind of cool. The nice thing about this, it's not a day length sensitive plant. And again, it's a very adaptable plant from equatorial Asia, so it's used to heat. It's used to some dry spells, but also can thrive within a kind of a rainy climate as well, as long as it's not too bad. All I'm going to do, this is my first year, I'm going to try out obviously the bean pods. And I'm going to bring some in here in just a second and show you how I'm going to cook it. Now they are kind of a lush tropical plant. And they have these these lavender flowers that bloom. Now you want to make sure you grow these on a trellis, right? If you leave it on the ground, it's just not going to do as well. It's going to sprawl all over. The pods are going to sit on the ground and probably mildew and rot. Now the beans are rich not only in protein but also antioxidants, so it's actually quite healthy for you. Yeah, they're traditionally blanched and then stir-fried with ume, which is a pickled plum of Japanese, Asian kind of nature. I'm not going to do it that way. What I'm going to do is kind of the way I normally do my green beans. I'm going to bring it in. What I'm going to do a little bit different though is I'm going to go ahead and cut these up, and they'll look like little stars. It'll be kind of cool looking if you think about a cross section of it. And pretty cool is if you don't want to eat them, it's actually a restorative type of crop, like a lot of your beans. So if you wanted to plant these and just leave them on the ground, let's just say, and leave them on the ground, let them run all over a particular bed, what you want to do is at the end of that season is go ahead and just cover them up, dig them back into your soil, and it actually restores nitrogen into your soil. So it's a restorative type of plant, not just for your body, but for the garden as well. Just like regular pole beans, you want to go ahead and plant the seed in 1 inch, 1.5 inch, something of that nature. Space them about 6 to 8 or 10 inches apart, and these things will grow on up and make some pretty lush vines. And you should see them sprout in 7 to 14 days. And the desirable temperatures, the optimal is anywhere between 75, let's say, and 95 degrees. So that's why it's growing so well here in my backyard garden in Zone 98. And then by August, you'll have some pods that are growing, and you'll be able to either eat them, put them in stir fries, pickle them. They're supposed to be very good pickled, and curry. And again, the smaller ones, not necessarily these big, long, huge ones, but they're supposed to be very tasty. We're going to find out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside here in just a minute. We're going to cook up a little bit of these. I'm going to harvest some from here, then we'll bring them inside and cook them. And there's your lavender flowers. They're pretty. And some of them kind of go different, have a different pattern too, which is kind of interesting. I think I'll take me on a little pepper with it. Oops. Now if you see, I got 2 of them that had dried out here, so now I got seeds already right there. All right, so there's our Urizun Japanese Winged Bean. All right, so we're back in the kitchen. We harvested the Urizun Japanese Winged Bean. These guys here. Now, what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to go and prepare them. What it's going to take is I got some onion, I got a little garlic, got some little bell pepper, I got some Savoy's tasso, and I'm going to put a little beef broth in with it as well. Just kind of cut the ends off. All right, when you cut them, you dice them, you kind of show the, it looks like a star pattern, right? So there's a seed inside of it, and then you got this all around it. Alright, so got everything cut up now. Lots of little stars. Alright, everything's looking good and cut up. Now it's time to throw some tasso. Now if you're from South Louisiana, you know what tasso is. Tasso is nothing more than ham, seasoned, and smoked. Incredibly good stuff. And what you want to do is put it in the pot. This is the way I do it anyhow. You put it over on the stove and you brown it and it makes what they call gradu. And that's just all that concentrated flavor that browns down on the bottom. That's what you're going for. And that's how you impart just a ton of flavor to whatever you're cooking. So I'm going to finish cutting this up, and then we'll move over to the stove and get that going. Got some butter in here, just to kind of give it a little something to help brown the tasso and make a little gradu. Plus it's just creamy, it tastes good. Alright, so we're ready to add this beautiful tasso. As soon as we get everything brown, we'll add the vegetables in and get that whole flavor profile together. And with adding the onion and all this, after I get the tasso brown, works the same thing with sausage or anything. When you're making a gradu down at the bottom, you want to be able to deglaze it. So in some cuisines, you can use wine, you could use different things. You can even use broth. But what we like to do is add in our vegetables to kind of, it'll end up allowing that moisture to come out, and it will deglaze the pan and allow those flavors to kind of come together. All right, as you can see, it's starting to brown up, and that's what it's imparting the gradu, all that flavor down on the bottom of the pan. That's what we're going for. All right, so we got everything browned up pretty good. I'm going to go straight in with this onion here. Look, you can do this with any kind of green beans, it don't matter. I like a little pepper, not everybody does. This has a little bit of spice, but not much. A little bit more maybe than your standard bell pepper, but not much. And then some garlic. You can't go wrong with garlic. And you could wait, have the garlic in right at the very tip end. Doesn't matter to me. So just work this in. I'm going to cut it backwards a little bit. I mean, just look how that's looking. Just incredible. You can smell it? Wow. Alright, so I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. I may a bit more and adjust it. I like this better than bouillon. It's incredibly tasty. And it looks like I got a brand new one. There's 1 teaspoon for each cup. This one is low sodium, it's usually packed. And I'm going to bring it back up to temperature now that I got the better than bouillon in here. Fresh black pepper. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add the beans in. And let it cook down for a couple hours. Looks pretty good in my book. It's got the nice cool star-shaped wings. I'll let it cook for probably about 3 hours, I think. Let it cook down a good bit. The broth will concentrate, put all them good flavors together between the tasso, the broth, as well as the onions, the garlic, and the pepper. Bring all that together. The flavor will just be concentrated. Can't wait to taste it. We'll check back in about 3 hours. Alright guys, so went ahead, it's been cooking for about 3 hours. The timer just went off. I'm going to go ahead and take some out, sample it. Look how pretty that is. Oh man, it's good. It's hot, but it's good. Little tasso. Brown it. Put a little beef broth with it. Use chicken broth. Onions. I use sweet potato, white onions. A little bit of lipstick peppers. They're a little slightly heat, a little bit more than a bell pepper, but not really super hot. And then some garlic as well. Some fresh cracked pepper and salt. I mean, I can tell you, this is just incredible. I'm gonna keep eating. In the meantime, alright, just want to do a quick video for you, spotlighting a particular plant. In this case, it's the Urizun Japanese Winged Bean. Harvested it, cooked it up, and it's excellent right now. If you enjoyed the video, please go over there and hit subscribe right now and like that video. Make memories now rather than later. Make memories with family and friends. And as always, I will see you on the next video.